A Southern Kentucky stockyard is helping keep jobs and the market alive for the Kentucky cattle industry. We'll take you there.
Coming up, firefighters say they have narrowed down the cause of a fire at this building at the Bourbon County Administrative Complex.
This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. Sam Dick and Amber Philpott reporting. Today, the governor had a first-hand look at all that damage at Bluegrass Stockyards in Lexington.
A massive fire destroyed the 70-year-old facility over the weekend. 2 days later, and fire crews are still at that scene. That fire means for many farmers that they're having to take their cattle elsewhere for sale. Many of them are choosing the Bluegrass Stockyards location in Stanford. WKYT's Phil Pendleton talked to some farmers who say while they hate to travel, they are thankful for the company's other locations. It's our top story at 4:30.
The manager here at Bluegrass South told me that this morning they had hundreds of cattle coming through here. They say the business is up about 50%. Now, farmers tell me that the fire at the Lexington location was not just a loss for that business, it was a loss for them. Joseph Kippard of Henry County says what used to be a 50-mile trip is now 80 miles to deliver his cattle for sale. He was on the market floor this morning waiting for a bull to be sold. He's among many wearing the Bluegrass Stockyards Lexington hat. Many farmers say selling cattle here isn't just a job, it's their livelihood. And those at the stockyards aren't business associates, they're family.
I'm a cow person. I guess I've had them all my life. You know, it's all I've ever done is farm. It's all I ever wanted to do.
This is your livelihood.
My life, my livelihood, my life. Yes.
Bluegrass officials tell me that they are shifting employees around to other locations. The auctions are taking place here today and on Thursday. There are also auctions taking place at locations in Mount Sterling and Richmond. In Lincoln County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
And as Phil mentioned, Bluegrass livestock officials say they will still have auctions 6 days a week at their various locations. Fire also caused problems for a central Kentucky school district. A fire broke out at the conference center for Bourbon County schools about 5 this morning.
And that building houses the technical support for the entire school district. Our Mike Byer is in Paris now with more on a possible cause.
Shortly after 5 this morning, the Paris Fire Department responded to a fire at this building at the Bourbon County Administrative Complex.
It appears this fire has smoldered for a long time, so when it does that, it in turn makes everything in the room covered in soot, black ash, so pretty much everything in there is going to be a loss.
After reviewing surveillance video, firefighters determined the fire started from either a copy machine or a paper shredder. Regardless of how it started, they say the building handled the fire very well and didn't receive any structural damage.
Everything actually inside this building did exactly what it was designed to do. It held it all literally to one room.
Bourbon County school leaders say this building was used as a conference center and housed the school district's migrant education program as well as the 21st Century program.
They will be put in other buildings until we can get this building fixed and ready for them to be housed again.
While no students will be affected by the temporary loss of this building, school leaders are hopeful it can be repaired. 927. In Bourbon County, Mike Byer, WKYT.
And school leaders say the next step is to talk with their insurance company about what they should do with that building. This morning, showers have moved out, and for the 1st of February, it's a pretty nice day out there.
Pretty good. You'll want to enjoy it, though, because some storm chances are ramping back up tomorrow, and some of those could actually be severe. We want to check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Chris, this is something you've been talking about since last week.
Yeah, we've been trying to give you a heads up, and really since this time last week, giving an indication that things were going to kind of get a little crazy as we got closer and closer to Groundhog Day. In the short term, though, before we get to Groundhog Day, it's another nice looking afternoon across the Bluegrass State. Partly sunny skies in Lexington, 52 degrees. Winds are coming at us from the north and northeast, yet it's only 52 degrees. That's not bad on a north to northeasterly flow. Normally a northerly wind means colder air. That's not so much the case out there right now. If you're out this evening, though, it's a drop through the 40s, and a few spots may even wind up into the high 30s by 11 o'clock. But you mentioned the Groundhog Day potential. Big low pressure back across parts of Texas that is cranking a blizzard to the north of it, warm air to the south of that. That warm air shoots in here tomorrow and could give us the possibility of a record high for Groundhog Day. A ton of wind coming with that system as well. Wind advisory is out for all of central and eastern Kentucky for the possibility of winds that may gust to greater than 50 miles per hour. That isn't the only threat we are tracking for that severe threat index heading into tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, guys. High winds, an isolated tornado, and very heavy rain. All a possibility across most of central and eastern Kentucky. We'll time the line of thunderstorms into town when I come back in a few minutes.
Chris, thank you. Police are looking for the person who robbed a Lexington gas station. It happened around 7 this morning at the Thorntons on Woodhill Drive. People trying to grab a cup of coffee at the gas station this morning were turned away. The Herald Leader says employees posted a sign saying the store was closed because of an emergency. No arrests have been made.
In this world of go, 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 many people are looking for a healthy stress reliever. And tonight, we're going to introduce you at 6 to floating. It's water therapy, 60 to 90 minutes of peace and relaxation. And all you have to do is float in a cocoon-like tank with a lid. The warm water contains hundreds of pounds of Epsom salts. The idea is there are no distractions from the outside world. People who float say it's a way of clearing their mind and body of all stress.
Something as simple as salt water, which is something that our body is constituted of, it just has that amazingly magical effect to fully relax and rejuvenate a person, and not just from the physical form, but also from the emotional, mental.
I really strive for total peace in my life in many ways, and this is another way of striving for total peace.
Tonight at 6, you'll meet a man who says floating has pretty much changed his life, and the woman who is bringing floating to Lexington at a place called Source on High.
I think a little extra peace for all of us would be great. So you're actually floating, but what if you can't swim and what if you can't float?
Well, you would think that you have to be able to float to be in a float tank, right? But people who have done a lot of floating, Amber, tell me that the Epsom salts basically make it impossible for you to sink in that tank. There's only about 10 to 12 inches of water in there, so it's not very deep. And the idea is not to have to do anything to float. You're just on your back, you're floating, and forgetting about the outside world. And we'll show you somebody who really believes in it and the person behind it.
It's really cool. Can't wait. Sam, thank you. Well, flags are flying at half-staff today in honor of the late State Senator Georgia Davis Powers. Louisville's mayor ordered city flags to be lowered starting today and through Powers' funeral. Powers died Saturday at the age of 92, a giant in the fight for civil rights in Kentucky. Powers was the first African-American woman elected to the state Senate, where she served 21 years. Her funeral arrangements are still pending.
To talk some football, the Denver Broncos and Carolina Panthers will make their first official Super Bowl week appearance tonight at the usually unpredictable media event.
This year's festivities are starting earlier than usual for players and fans. Terry Okita is in San Francisco with some football enthusiasts who say it's no longer just a man's game.
Now that the teams are in town, fans are ready for some football. Super Bowl 50 festivities, including the popular NFL Experience, kicked off this weekend in the Bay Area. Sophie and Carla McCarrum arrived from LA just for this event. They're die-hard gridiron gals.
We watch a lot of games together.
Yeah, we'll just be in the kitchen, and then there's football everywhere on 3 TVs that we have in our house.
That's just what the NFL wants to hear. Women account for as much as 45% of football viewership, the sport's fastest growing demographic with immense consumer buying power. Think jerseys, caps, tickets, and more.
NFL package, all games, all day. And we're there for it every Sunday.
Many NFL teams have launched booster clubs exclusively for women. Kathy Hughes attends every 49ers home game with her sisterhood of faithful followers.
And female fans are just as passionate about football as men are.
Why do you think that?
Because I think it's a different era and a different time.
Hughes even volunteered on the Santa Clara County project to help build the 49ers' new stadium, the site of this year's Super Bowl. As more women huddle up to the game, football's longtime bromance with the guys may be over. Terry Okita for CBS News, San Francisco.
The National Football League will host the first ever NFL Women's Summit on Thursday and Friday in San Francisco, leading up to Super Bowl 50. The UK Markey Cancer Center is using pet therapy as an emotional benefit for patients.
Our Deanne Stevens is out and about with details on that. Hey, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are learning more about pet therapy here at the UK Marquis Cancer Center, all a part of this integrative medicine that they're doing, and some great work done by these dogs. I love walking down the hallway. We got Clyde here and Ellen, and you guys you're like rock stars around here, making a big difference in the patient's day.
Yes, we are. People are thrilled to have us come in the room, and they say we've made their day for them and get a lot of smiles, which is very nice.
Well, Clyde works very hard at getting those smiles, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He does a lot of tricks for the patients, and he can do basketball tricks, and for kids he'll sing for them or do some math and help them with their homework.
Do some math. We need Clyde at my house. Help with homework. All right, we got a special trick that Clyde does, right?
Yes. Well, he often says his prayers for the Kentucky basketball team to help them win.
Right.
And he can show that to you right now if you'd like to see that.
Let me see your prayers, Clyde.
Clyde, you want the team to win this year, right? They need your help. Would you say a prayer for them before you... Oh, let's get up there and do that again. That's better. Now go to sleep. Go to sleep. Oh, good job, Clyde.
Great job, Clyde. Clyde, I know, also saying a lot of prayers for the patients that are here at the UK Marquis Cancer Center. Connie Jennings is with us. And Connie, this integrative medicine that you guys are doing, talk a bit about that. It's not just pet therapy. There's many different things that you're doing to help with the patient.
That's right, Deanne. We're building an exciting program in integrative medicine here. It will include the arts with music therapy, art therapy, narrative medicine, also touch and energy healing with Reiki, massage, Jinsen Jitsu, acupuncture, as well as nutrition, pastoral care, meditation, and mindfulness, and yoga.
Wow, there's so much, and you're mixing this all with the work they're doing here.
We certainly are. UK has a powerful entity here that cures amazing things, but our ability to heal is even more powerful. Because every patient here, regardless the outcome of their diagnosis, has something that can be healed. And we want to be here to help do that, because through integrative medicine, we feel like we have a chance to use nature's greatest gift, and that is the capacity of the heart.
Love that. And I love what you guys are doing here at the Marquis Cancer Center, and love what Clyde is doing too. Okay, Kenny, say bye. Bye. Say wave bye, Clyde. Okay, we'll work on that one next. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Back to you guys. Bye, Clyde.
Donald Trump taking the stage at a rally in Waterloo, Iowa today to Adele's song Rolling in the Deep. He's been using that song at his events, and her song Skyfall is in his pre-rally playlist. Now Adele wants everyone to know she never gave him permission. An Adele spokeswoman told CNN Adele has not given permission for her music to be used for any political campaigning. When asked if Adele was asking the Trump campaign to stop using her music, the spokeswoman did not have any further comment.
Aerosmith frontman Steven Tyler previously asked Trump to stop using the band's classic Dream On. Tyler took it further, though, ordering his attorney to send a cease and desist letter to Trump's campaign.
All right, this is the strangest weather we're having. I mean, you know, we've lived in Kentucky a long time, but to be in February and dealing with today and tomorrow's temperatures.
And today is really nice. Tomorrow, Chris Bailey, even warmer. But with that, we have the chance for some pretty serious storms, maybe.
Yeah, chances are you get a big warm spell like this, kind of sandwiched in between some extreme winter periods. We had the big snowstorm a few weeks ago and a lot of very cold air. We're probably going back into a pattern that features a lot of winter weather next week. You get this in between that, chances are you're going to get some booming thunderstorms. That's indeed what is to come later in the day tomorrow night. Current readings are into the low 50s across most of central and eastern Kentucky. 50 into Florence, 53 Frankfort, 51 Lexington, and across the Mountain Parkway corridor, where everybody now with a bare ground. I still imagine some areas of southern and southeastern Kentucky have some shaded areas that may feature what's left of a snowdrift or some piles of snow. Where we are in Lexington, most of that is gone now. Defender Radar Network, nothing going on. We will change that up, though, as we go into late tomorrow, into tomorrow afternoon. The potential is there for some big-time thunderstorms, and I'll track that when I come back a little later on. Right now, let's track traffic. Things getting a little busy on the roads. Here's Officer Don.
We've got a live look outside at Lexington. Traffic slow first. You can see the inner and outer loops are moving okay. Slowdowns around Leestown Road, also outbound Nicholasville, approaching Southland. 3 collisions working. One's at Manowar and Sir Bart. That's a non-injury crash. Also one at Winchester and the Circle, and there's still a collision at Georgetown and Nandino. Now, drive times headed to Georgetown via I-75 still looks okay. No major problems toward Mount Sterling or Winchester. Now back to the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. A major stash of Super Bowl gear and a retiring police officer doing some fancy footwork. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
We are counting down to Super Bowl 50 this week, and one California man has a super stash of Super Bowl memorabilia. Vince Matranga has a mega collection of Super Bowl gear, ranging from T-shirts, hats, even ticket stubs. But if you can believe it, he's never made it to the big game. Matranga says he used to house sit for an NFL bigwig.
When Mike became director of NFL officiating, he had to move from Sacramento to New York City to be near the NFL office, but he did leave behind his Sacramento home.
Though he's yet to set foot in a Super Bowl stadium, Matranga says he's grateful for every piece on this table.
Video of a retiring El Paso sheriff's deputy doing the whip nay-nay in an elevator has gone viral, and why wouldn't it, right? Deputy Tony Sherb is retiring after 29 years of service, so he celebrated with some moves in the elevator. That is until the ranking officer shows up. If 29 years of community service doesn't deserve an awkward dance party, I don't know what does. But at least the other folks joined in with him to have his dance party in there,
I think
right?
He's doing great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right.
Have at it.
All right, much more to come now on WKYT at 5 o'clock.